Okay, thanks for checking out Uncensored Tactical. This is part 2 of our 3-part series for first and second and third line lockpicking gear. So don't let this little bag fool you. It's not super heavy, well, but for its size it is pretty dense and it is packed full of crap that I use. Some of it all the time, some of it never, but that's one of the nice reasons I think that you come to this channel is to see some of the tools that work and that don't work and that get used a lot and that don't get used a lot. So I carry extra shit that you probably won't carry, but so that you don't have to carry that. So hopefully there's some education value in this for you. All right, this is a huge bag. I don't have enough camera space or tabletop space to lay out all of my gear piece by piece. So we're gonna do this pocket by pocket. Here we go. First pocket. This little guy is a lightsaver. It's a really lightweight, really small headlamp made by Petzl. I like it because I can operate it in the dark. It's got a pretty secure lockout system, so I can't ever remember this going off when I don't want it to. I like that it's not very bright. It's got 2 brightness settings and it's got red light. So when I'm down trying to work my way into a keyway, I'm not using a huge surefire bright-ass tactical flashlight and blinding myself in a keyway, and B, I don't have to hold it in the crook of my neck or in my mouth, because I'm sure you might or might not know that police flashlights are probably fucking filthy on them. So it's nice to not put those in your mouth. Headlamp. A little miscellaneous tool. It's not like a Gerber because it doesn't have the pliers in the front, but it's got scissors, and in lockpicking, sometimes all you need is a little mini screwdriver, a flathead or a Phillips head, and just some ancillary products there. And it's not very big and it's not very heavy. That's what she said. But it's in the front pocket, so I can always grab a tiny multi-tool. Secondary pouch here. We'll go over this in a second. We have a Jiggler expansion set. Get some light here. This is 2 different sets that you can use for vehicle keyways and for double wafer style locks. I've had some pretty good success with some of these. You'll see, I don't know if you'll be able to see in that reflection there, but some of them are a little more dirty than others. They get a lot more use. So this is a really nice little treat that I have. And it's nice that I have it in my second line gear. My third line gear is my reach tool for vehicles. So if all I have is this bag, it's a lot easier to get some entry with some keys instead of having to have a 6 or 8 foot long reach tool to go through and manipulate a vehicle. So we got this. We covered these. Are actually for making my own picks and adjusting my tension tools. So I have some paper clips in here you'll see later that I can use. If for some reason the keyway doesn't fit the lock picks that I'm using, I can kind of take some paper clips and manipulate them the way that I want and make the rake the correct shape that I want. So those are nice to have. This is an automobile tension tool and a wafer rake or a wafer pick. You can also use your tension tool in conjunction with your jigglers here. I've had really good success with that as well. This is kind of a weird one. You'll see that I have some lube here. I know, right? Not that weird. You should not be using these on the inside of keyways. I use it for other things like loosening up a shackle or knocking rust off of kind of secondary parts of a lock. I don't use it for in the keyway because it initially, while it may help a little bit loosen some stuff up, it'll collect dirt and dust and it'll actually end up fouling up your lock. So there's some added bonus for you. And it's great for handcuffs too. A lot of times you might be shocked to know that police and military people don't always take great care of their gear. This is really freaking cool. This is not for lock picking, but it is for restraint escape. This is by ASP. It's a flex cuff cutter. So what you do is you slide your flex cuff in here, and then as you squeeze this, a blade separates the two. You can operate it one-handed. It's really easy. It doesn't require a lot of pressure. You just slip, cut, and you're done. So those are nice to have around. Unless you want a lawsuit, I do not recommend opening someone's flex cuffs with your pocket knife. I don't care how much of a rush you're in. I don't care how long it takes you to get a good set of either medical shears, and even those are risky sometimes, but keep one of those on you. You might also want to try the deep end of a real good multi-tool with kind of a cutting surface there. That's also a good option for flex cuffs. Because if you do it with a knife, it's going to fuck shit up. All right, let's put some of this back in because I'm a little OCD and I need my clean workspace. So this is a ton of ancillary products. So in here I have a American wafer breaker kit. So it'll break the wafer in those big fat round American locks. And then once I break that, there's a security wafer in there that some newer models have. And then if there's no wafer, or if I break the wafer, then I go in and I use this bypass. It's basically like a fucking master key. I have another video on that on my website and in my YouTube channel. I have a bunch of, you'll see combs in there, and they look like little mini combs, and that's the name of them, so it's pretty easy to remember. I have some commercial grades metal shims. I have some hair snap clips or bobby clips, whatever you want to call them. Those are for handcuffs and for Master 175 locks and for some other things. I got some more bypass tools. I have a shim or a shove knife. And for handcuffs, I have an extra handcuff key on a chain so I can wear it around my neck so I don't lose it. I have an extra plastic handcuff key in case I need it. It's lightweight, doesn't take up a lot of space. I like having it. I do carry something similar to this every day on my law enforcement patrol uniform, but I keep the one that has kind of a pen clip on it, and people lose keys all the time, so I keep an extra one with me as like a throw key just to give to another officer that's on scene with me if they need one, because they often do. And a couple other knickknacks in here that are kind of hard to see, but we're going to scoot along because this is going to be a long video. On top here is my key pouch. I have my Sparrows auto jigglers. They're nice because they come with 13 different options. You got your big main ones that are really common, and then you have your little guys, and these are actually really good for filing cabinets and other types of maybe luggage locks or small cheap locks. You can jiggle open some pin and tumbler keyways. This is a set of lockout key. I'm sorry about the camera. This is a set of lockout keys. These are from Sparrows as well. They're a little bit different than these, the cuts. This is a generic auto jiggler set, which I have great success with, even more than my Sparrows sets. Mainly just because of the purchase here. Between your thumb and your forefinger, it's a lot bigger to grab onto when compared to your Sparrows ones. They look really cool, but man, do they kind of dig into your fingers when you're trying to pinch them and turn them here. So it's a lot more comfortable to use a generic set. I do love Sparrows a lot, but you'll see on my YouTube channel and especially on my website, I do a lot of product reviews. And even if there's a review from a company that I like for their tools, I'll tell you if it's bullshit. So I tell a lot of people a lot of time, buy your generic set. They're much cheaper, much easier to find. These are much more expensive, and only because of these small extra jigglers would I say it's worth buying these. But in a pinch, or especially if you're getting started or you want to go lightweight, just get these, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be happy with them. What else do we got? Oh, these guys are cool. So these are two little tools that you can find at ITS Tactical. One is for your Master 175. It's really thin, really flimsy. It's a bypass tool. And this one, I hardly ever use. I've practiced with it a little bit and only had a little bit of success. It's thicker. I think I did another video on this recently. When you're on their website, know that there's two different tools that look the same in photos. So be real sure that you read the description. This is a bypass tool for the 175. This is I forget, a shank or a stick or a shove knife. I forget what term they used, but it's for going into keyways and manipulating what's behind the keyway. I have not had a lot of great use for it. So this is a set of bump keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bump keys. Man, 5 bump keys. And they're for most standard American pin and tumbler locks. I have an expansion set of bump keys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 10 little bump keys. I do have a hammer inside that you'll see later. And there's some extra bobby pins and snap clips thrown in here just for easy access. And I know I have some in my other little Ziploc bag in the front. So that's my little key pouch. And this little flat pouch up here, all of these are actual options for basic rake and pick lock picks. So your rake tools, your tension wrenches, just your different types of sets. So if I'm not getting a good response from a keyway, but I know I can pick it, I go to a different tool set, and you'll see some options in there, some things I like. This is also an extra backup set of lockout keys, either to gift out or to give to somebody, or if some of mine break. So lots of options in there, and they're all actual designed commercial lock picks. And lots of tension wrench options, because your tension wrench is almost more important than the little tool that you throw in there to wiggle around. Oh, man. Try doing this at dark with wet fingers or in a doorway or when you got gloves on. What a mess. But that is the tactical side of tactical lockpicking, and you learn quite a bit when you do that. Okay. Shove knife for manipulating the bolt on a bypass for a latch. This is for automobiles. It's a wedge that between your two door frames. You can shove this in and bend one door frame out. It helps you get your air cushion or your pillow or your air jack, whatever you want to call it. So this is for vehicles. If you don't know, then now you know. I get a lot of use out of these. I actually like the double airbag method. I have a couple pictures probably on my Instagram and maybe an article or two on my website. I'm not sure. If there isn't, there will be one up there eventually. You saw the bump keys in the earlier pocket. This is your bump hammer. It's really flexible. You can bend it. So I just give it one good snap, reset, one good snap, reset. I've smashed my thumb a few good times. This is a hook for automobiles. You can use it as a wedge to pry open a door. It's kind of tough because of the backside here, but if you can get it between two door panels, you can use it as a wedge. And then once your airbags separate the frame of the car enough, you can set this on and it'll stay there so that your door doesn't accidentally shut on you if you have a problem with one of your airbags. I don't use this very much, but I'd keep it around in case I do. And like I said, I keep a lot of extra gear so that I can do some field testing of it to see if it would work for you or not. This is my secondary airbag because I like the two-bag method. Ooh, man, that thing is warm. There we go. Getting a little loosened up. I operate in Florida, so some of these tools, this one might be getting its wear. You can see the bulb here is kind of in bad shape, probably from heat. All right, what else? This little guy. Don't worry about this little guy. This is, I definitely have a video on this. Those look familiar? If you search my website, you can check out what those are for. They are pretty cool. There actually is, there's a reason that I have these. And I will probably never need them, but if I do, man, am I really going to save the day. If you want some more information on that, go check out our other article. I will list it below. These are bolt cutters. And they're little tiny, teeny bolt cutters. They're handheld. I purchased these so that I can cut fence wire if I had to, but I have not done the field testing on fence wire yet, so you can bet that I will be doing that soon and letting you know how it goes. I do not like going into the field operationally with tools I haven't tested yet, so that is next up on the list. This guy is so cool when it works. So let's check this out. You know what this is? Anybody know what that is for lock picking? Bet a couple of you do. Here we go. A little pool noodle. Check that out. All right. Takes up a lot of space, but it does not take up a lot of weight. It's heavier than it looks, but it, like I said, in compared to the space that it takes up, not much. So let's get one little object and see what we can get cracking here. All right. Any ideas yet? If you check out sparrowslockpicks.com, you will see that this is the Magneto. And it's for specifically one lock, the Kaba Simplex lock. It's a 5-button push-button lock. I know I've talked about it before several times. If I don't have a complete article dedicated to that, there will be. It's just expensive to buy those doorknobs, and I don't want to break a doorknob anywhere that I work. So, in due time, I did a lot of field testing with this on over a dozen different Kaba Simplex locks, and I could not get it to work for the life of me. But because I didn't have the ability to take those locks apart and look at them, it was hard for me to see if they'd been updated, because there is a security patch on some of the Kaba locks, but there's just so damn many of them out in the field that it's really unlikely that all of them are updated. So that's the big bag, the main bag portion. Let me shove all this crap back in. Almost done. All right. In the back here, there's kind of a secret little pouch. Let's check that one out. These are super cool. You've probably seen these in a couple other videos that I've done. These are just bypass shims, and they are worth their weight in gold. They're from Sparrows, but you can get them at other sites. The generic brand work just as well. I just do like to give my business to Sparrows, so if I'm on their site, I'll order a pack or two of these just to keep with me, and I use them a lot for training. And this little guy, also from Sparrows. No shit, go figure. I think it's super cool. It's really similar to bump keying, but I've found it's really tricky. So there's one snap pick gun that goes into your keyway, bumps the pins around, and it gives you a bunch of different tension wrench options, which are nice, but like I said, really finicky, really sensitive. The tension's got to be just right, and it's a little loud and a little annoying, and I have faster, more reliable success just doing a basic rake of a keyway. Really cool tool. I keep it for you guys so that if I have a chance to use it in the field, I can tell you about it, but it does not get a lot of use in the field. It's novel, it's cool, but if you're new to lockpicking, don't go out and waste your money on this, at least not in the beginning until you have nothing else to waste your money on. And that is mostly it. So that's my little bag of awesome. Oh, okay, little bonus. I occasionally keep this on my armor. I don't even know if it's full or not right now because I haven't been wearing my armor for operations lately. There's a little pocket in here where I keep some cool shit. So this is Sparrow's Comb 45. There's a 2 4-pin and 2 5-pin combs, which are pretty cool. Bobby pin for anybody. Handcuffs. Yeah, there's some more stuff in there. A hair snap clip thing for your Master 175. Safety pin for improvised lockpicks. Paper clip for improvised lockpicks. And I think that is it. There will be some more stuff going in here, but just because I'm not using it operationally right now, it's not full of gear. I'll usually put at least one backup lockpick set, at least 2 paper clips, at least 2 safety pins, at least 2 hair snap clips, some combs, and 1 or 2 other goodies, and maybe a tiny ass flashlight. Usually stays in here, and I just throw that sucker on the front of my bag. And that is the extent of my second line gear, unless I forgot anything. Please feel free to get involved in the comments on the YouTube page. I think some really cool stuff could come out of this. And if you guys have any other cool recommendations or shit that you use in the field, or even at home when you're fucking around, Absolutely cool. Let's collaborate, and if you found some value in today's video, then please subscribe on YouTube and go over to the website and subscribe there as well. That's a huge help. So thanks for checking out Uncensored Tactical. See you next time.